Karate, and welcome to the first video discussing Robertson Davies' Fifth Business. Hopefully this video will be relatively short. There's just really one main point I wanted to talk about. Fifth Business follows the very strange story of Dunstable Ramsay. It was first published in 1970, although it takes place in the early 1900s through the mid-1900s. I just want to start with the definition of fifth business, which he gives in the beginning of the book. Those roles which, being neither those of hero nor heroine, confidant nor villain, but which were nonetheless essential to bring about the recognition or the denouement, were called fifth business in drama and opera companies, organized according to the old style. The player who acted these parts was often referred to as fifth business. And then he gives a source, but he later revealed that he just totally made it up. Robertson Davies just made this term and the definition up. What I want to talk about is mainly mythology in the book and mythology in our lives. Obviously, this is Dunstable's story, but in his own story, his own life, he is fifth business, as Lizelle tells him. All the main players in his life are other people. As a whole, myth plays a pretty large role in the book, what with Mary Dempster being a saint or a fool saint and performing 3 miracles. Boy Staunton names his son after the Prince of Wales. Dunstable is renamed Dunstan by a nurse after the saint. And Dunstan's own field of study and his own interests. He's interested in history and the study of saints. At one point they call the gravel pit in town a physical representation of Presbyterian hell. Early in the book, Dunstan says he wants a different life, he wants a bigger life and a better life than the one he is able to have in his town around all of these people. I'm sorry about the noise. Then later in chapter 3, he starts to believe that myths and parables and tales hold more reality, they're more real than the truth. I sort of feel like Dunstan just desperately wants to be more important than he is. He wants his life to be more important than it is. And that's why he's seeking out all these things that aren't really there. He's kind of desperately searching for mythical type connections to other people. I think that's something that is relevant to everyone's life. I think there is some aspect of myth in everyone's life, and Robertson Davies did feel the same way. He thought people didn't recognize the amount of myth or archetypes. He loves archetypes in their own life. I also think there is a limit to that, and in the book I think in a way it kind of deals with, is that why we do things like that, like name our children after the Prince of Wales? Is it because we want to be more important than we are? We want to be part of some bigger thing? We aren't really the big movers and shakers of the world. We aren't presidents and politicians. We are everyday people, and everyday people are the fifth business of the world. So I think to feel like we do matter more, we sort of embellish stories about our lives and we name our kids after prominent figures. And I think this relates to Dunstan's chosen field of study, history, and that how much of history is actually myth and how much of it is truth, and how can you separate the two? And I think this relates to the year of finding memory as well. At the end of our life, how much of what we relate to other people is the truth and how much of it is a mythology. But what I also found interesting, actually the main thing I found interesting, and really the only thing I wanted to say in this video, but then I felt that wouldn't be enough and I had to bring up some other topics, is that fifth business as it relates to Canada. I sort of feel like Canada is fifth business, but that's just what we are. Everything we do, we say we were there too, or we provide aid. We're just always helping or providing support or backup. That's just what we do, and that's who we are, and I feel okay with that, and I'm okay with being a fifth business type character. Now it's kind of short and inadequate, but as soon as I read the definition for fifth business, all I could think of was Canada and our relationship with the rest of the world, and that was really what I wanted to talk about. So I'm interested to hear Jess and Jason's opinions on that particular subject, as well as being fifth business in your own life and mythology in the book. That's not really a super in-depth discussion, but I thought that point was really interesting and merited its own discussion. The book is just so strange that it feels difficult for me to turn the whole book into a discussion. It's all over the place. It is a great book, and you should definitely check it out. It's a good read. That's it. I look forward to hearing Jess and Jason's thoughts as well as your own. Let us know in the comments. Join us with reading, and